doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm so happy to be here with you on this episode 3 of The Horse and Room 6.
It's our episode 3.
Woohoo!
This is going to be a good one. I'm
Yeah,
excited
so
about this one.
who we interview for this one, bud?
We interviewed my father, Mark Holton.
Mark Holton. Coolest man I've ever met. Top 3 for sure.
Fascinating. He's a wonderful man. And he did some crazy shit.
Yeah,
in
we
the
got some
70s.
wild-ass hitchhiking stories
He
with
did
Mark
some
Holton.
Hitchhiking. He met a interesting character along the way.
Sure did. He met someone who protected him from a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Not unlike what I did for you in Ecuador during the times of bus drugging and
you
arriving
saved
late
my
at night.
ass. Yes.
You know, I do what I can.
That's why it's important to have a good travel partner.
Yeah, so this week's episode is all about
Find a good travel partner.
Yep. And yeah, so put on your big kid pants, put on your mom jeans, and get ready for a rocking good time. Let's do it. Horse Room 6. Hey, Lauren.
Kalea, how's it going?
So good. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. In this heat.
It's
Stifling.
fucking hot.
What did we do yesterday, Kalea?
We went to the fair yesterday, bud.
Jesus Christ. We thought that was going to be a fantastic time. It was fascinating.
It was.
I think.
That I think is the first time we've been out in a big group of people since maybe sometime in Ecuador. So it's been a couple hefty months.
I'd like to also say that we went on the free day, the last day.
Yes. So we saw the most fascinating folks.
So that was a whole time.
Yeah, we waited till the last day of this week and a half long fair and the last 3 hours.
Because we did like a cool rafting trip and drove by. We were like, oh my gosh, it's a fair.
I was like, they got a Ferris
When's
wheel,
the last
bud.
time you've been to a fair? She's like, I can't remember. So we decided that we would do it. Lots of youth.
Many youths.
Youths.
I suppose it makes sense since it was the free day. But I find young
Exactly.
person energy unsettling. When they're in groups, I don't like it. They seem like they will murder for sport, and I don't trust it.
I also don't think that we knew how to interact with the peoples when we walked up because first of all I was like, well, I don't have cash, what are we gonna do? And then we walked up and it was like cash only to get the tickets.
Brief panic. And then we
Brief
noticed
panic.
the ATM machine because
Yeah.
they prepared for folks
Problem
like us.
fixed. And then I waited for you for a long time because I didn't want to be the first one to go to the ticket counter. I don't know why. I was scared.
You know what? You put us back out in the world, big wide world of people, and the fear sets in and the awkwardness sets in, and we're like, are we allowed to be here?
Yeah, what is going? Okay,
I don't know. But then it was amazing.
First ride, yeah.
Oh, it was the spinny one. I don't know what it's called, but it's where you just it spins in circles and you get plastered to the wall.
It was very hot.
It was quite warm in there.
Silver linings. Smelled like a Denny's bathroom. That's pretty cool.
I don't know that that's a Silver Linings. Do you love the smell of a Denny's
No,
bathroom?
I don't. There were a lot of body odors floating around.
It was a malodorous moment for sure, but it was amazing. We spun real fast in a circle, and that was neat. And then we went on the tornado.
Which is just another spinny thing.
It spins around as well. And then we
And,
waited
yeah.
waited for the ultimate ride situation, the zipper. The zipper.
We, we're smack dab in the middle of
Oh my God. We were in front.
teenagers. Just
There's
groups
like
of them.
bunch of cute ones in front of us, bunch of them behind us. And honestly,
It was like the prep school kids and then like the bad kids.
public school
the
kids.
public school kids.
which I don't know anything of either of
I
those
don't know
things
if I
because
was
I was
sure
homeschooled. So I was just like, I don't know, y'all are freaking me out. Are y'all supposed to be swearing at this age? Your outfits are awfully small.
I was telling Kalea to make sure her purse is clasped.
I'm clutching my actual purse to my body. I'm
watch
like,
your
they're going to
purse.
thieve me.
Yeah, we were worried about getting thieved. We were worried about getting thieved by,
Wasn't worried
unruly
about that
group
in
of-
South America.
Yeah,
but
not
put
all,
us at
but,
a Jackson County fairgrounds with some teeny boppers behind us. And we're like, they're
Full
going to steal our
hormones.
stuff.
Like I said, they will kill and they will film it and they will not care.
Yeah. And I like that we both had the same thought as we were thinking these things about the dangers that youths could get into. We're like, but you know what? They're probably not going to do it in public because they're all full of
Public
shame.
humiliation is
Yep.
the worst thing. Yep. I was thinking about that. I was like,
well,
I will cut you down.
Yep. Lauren
Should
will
it come
make
to
you
that?
feel small with her words should it come to that. I'll probably just cry.
At the same time, I was like, please don't let this happen.
It's like they're watching and they're judging us. And then I realized they don't give a fuck about us because even more than we are thinking about all
are
of our
like
actions and
old
moments
people.
and things.
We're old people to them.
Not only that, but they are like, think of our awkwardness now after years of working through
I
it.
thought we looked pretty cool.
Yeah, and then think of being like 14 and then having all that shit compounded before you have enough ability to learn how to just move past it.
We had the upper hand for sure.
Yeah, as we're there like, oh no, are the kids gonna think we're cool?
It's like sweating bullets. Just watching her, clutching her purse. purses. I love right before we got on the last. What was the last one called? That thing was
That was the
slingshot. The zipper?
Zipper, not the slingshot, the zipper. It's basically just a bunch of tiny cages that spin around
Kalea,
real
right
fast.
before we were about to get on it, she goes, "Look at the sign." It was not.
It just said to secure your loose items, and it said some other things like don't be too short to ride, and I don't know, something else.
This is not like inspected by the Oregon.
Oh yeah, there was the ladder going up
That
the
was
side of
cool.
this thing, and it says this is not an OSHA sanctioned ladder. Do not climb.
I was like,
I was like, cool. So if we get stuck up there, we're fucked.
And they just shove you into a cage. And did they like buckle us in? I don't
No.
think they did. They just they
think
close
there was-
a cage.
It literally
and then
they closed the cage up.
I
and
think
then they
you
say,
were the
"Hold
one
on."
that pulled it back. Yeah, it's choose your own adventure. For that, I thought I had my purse buckled. It was not.
It was not.
So I was just spinning around, and change was going everywhere.
Change flying everywhere. Lighters were going
everywhere.
up in the air. My sunglasses hit me in the face, and they came back down. I was like, I'm gonna put my foot on it. I got this. We're fine.
I mean, holy shit! I've been swimming in the Amazon at night.
You swam with literal piranhas.
With
and
piranhas,
This was
Fucking
more terrifying.
crocodiles,
Caimans. Yeah.
caimans. This was the scariest experience
But
I've ever had in my
fuck
whole
the
life. I was like,
zipper.
I'm gonna die. We're gonna die.
Yeah, because it's just you're just spinning and going, and then you think you're going to be done, and then you're not done, and suddenly you're upside down again, and you're screaming, and your purse is flying, the contents of it, all in your little cage, and
Yeah, you're just.
it was amazing and terrifying.
It was great. I did it for you. I love you.
I love you as well. You're a real good
Immediately
friend.
afterwards, I was like, "Can we please leave?"
And we're like, all right, and we've done our fair time. So we were there for all of maybe an hour and a half, and so now we can say we did the fair.
Which brings up the whole point of having cool people.
It brings up the point of an importance of good travel partners. Really good partners in general for scary activities.
I can balance you out.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that we found, thankfully, and we're very lucky for, is that we travel really, really, really well together.
We do. We got a Leo and a Libra.
It's a good combo.
We're supposed to get along for the most part, horoscope wise. But yes, I think we have similar like living situations.
I think we're both kind of the same level of trash person who doesn't require a lot of planning for our travels. Like some people, I think it's really important for some folks. Well, I know this from previous partners, to have everything planned out and to know where you're going to stay, what you're going to be doing, and if these things aren't booked, for some people it causes a lot of anxiety,
which is fine.
But I am
But
not
we
that
ain't
way.
rich.
No.
So we're hoofing it on a bus.
We're hoofing it and here for the adventures.
And we're getting sand everywhere. If sand bothers you, do not travel with me because it happens all the time. Like I still to this day, I always have sand on me. It's just going to happen. I've accepted it. And it's
3 weeks after leaving the beach, and we're somewhere in the jungle, and suddenly there's still sand in the bottom of the sheets of our bed, and I'm like, what is happening? Where's this coming from?
It's exfoliant, so it's good for you. Yeah, sand. I believe yesterday when we were jingling around in the cage, sand came out, and I was like, where the fuck did this come
I think
from?
it hit me in the eye. I was like, oh, this was the Ecuador purse. That's why. It's followed you home, bud. But yeah, so when we were traveling together, we had some moments where it was really a good thing that there was two of us.
Ooh, it got interesting.
Yeah. The best one I would have to say was the bus to Banos.
The bus drugging.
The bus drugging. So
first of all, we were so proud of ourselves because we got a bus ticket.
Yeah, so this was the first. Yeah, we'd been at the coast. We'd been with your brother and his wife, and so we'd had some like comfort and familiarity and such. And then this was the first time we were going to branch out on our own and go travel Ecuador because, as we've mentioned previously, you'd been there a number of times, but it only kind of hung out in that coastal area. So this is like big travel adventures. Lauren bought the bus tickets. We were feeling really good about it. So we took one bus to Guayaquil. So it was 2.5 hours. We made that bus, did it right. And then we got into Guayaquil.
By the way, that fucking bus station was crazy. It was like an
airport.
It was like a mall airport.
It was really cool.
People were yelling at you. We did have a friend that helped us. But
then we got the ticket. So this was then going to be about a 7-hour bus trip. And so we were planning. We were going to get there around 2 a.m. So I thought that I had the address of the hostel we were staying at. I'd booked the place, and so
we hadn't quite figured out my Ecuador phone.
No, we thought we had. As you'll find out, we did not.
We did not figure that out.
So we thought we had some plans in place. We thought we were prepared.
But
and
all the buses have Wi-Fi. They don't.
None of them do. If they say they do, it's lies. It's lies. So get on this bus and.
We got our snacks.
Got our snacks.
We got our Powerades. We
were
got
ready.
our bags on lock in between us.
We had
like,
just
we are
like
not getting thieved.
Our limbs were all intertwined with our bags and things because we'd done our due diligence and looked up the safety things. And really the least safe thing about South America seems to be you'll get thieved on buses.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right,
anywhere, but yeah. So the bus was nice. It was great. We were like, feeling comfortable. Night
and
bus.
so then we're probably an hour out of like away from our destination, and I kind of wake up because Lauren's like shoving me awake, and she's acting a little weird.
By the way, we are going up the Andes Mountains, so my sister-in-law gets sick with us, so she really wanted us to get like Dramamine, like adjacent.
Yeah, they're super windy little roads.
They're windy, and it's dark, and they're thin little roads.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So then at some point, like Lauren shakes me awake and she's wanted to talk and she's being a little loud and it's a little confusing to me because it's around 1 a.m. at this point. And she's pointing out the window and saying, look, we're in the clouds because there's like sort of a fog bank near where we're at. I was like, yeah, I don't really think we're in the clouds. And then she's like, no, we're in the fucking clouds. I was like, ooh, okay. Oh my God. So she's acting a little off. And I'm like, are you just pissy and awake now? So we pull into, nothing really strange happened, but you seemed a little off.
Could have been the altitude,
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And so then we pull into the bus station and the guy yells, Banos! So we're piled off this bus. The bus station there, much smaller and not open at night. So we are literally just hustled off a bus to a dark bus terminal area. We don't know where the hell we are. And Lauren gets off the bus and goes, oh my God, I don't feel okay.
I forgot about this part. Was that I thought I had been talking to somebody about where I
that was
forgot
the worst
about
part.
that part.
She gets off the bus and she goes,
the last thing I
where's the
remember.
guy I was talking to? I'm like, what are you talking about, Lauren?
That's
She's
when I
like,
knew
the guy I've been talking to the last 2 hours is going to show us where the hostel is. And I'm like, oh no, Lauren, there's no guy.
And I was like, oh no, I've been drugged.
So then her response is to plop her ass on the pavement.
We ran though. We ran.
No, we did not at first.
No, I'm sorry.
You plopped down and started just unpacking your bag to find something. As there's 5 or 6 guys coming over going, hostel, like trying to, get us to a hostel.
Damn.
And you're like, get away from
Gatorade. Do not fall asleep in an aisle seat with an open Gatorade bottle.
No, you might be drugged. So
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Lauren, we're gonna move. These men are all yelling at us for hostels. We need out of this. So I'm like, all right. So I hustle her up a couple blocks, and we sit in a street corner.
And
it's my first time in
South America.
Yeah,
in a strange place.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. And also, I turned my phone onto all the airplane mode, like all the data off, so I wasn't charged $1 million. I then thought in my foolishness that I could just turn everything back on and it would all work. That is not the case. So all I could see on my phone was I could open maps and I could see we were like some street names, and then I could see a KFC probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles away.
Oh, KFC, point of reference.
So I sat Lauren up on the street corner. I was like, stay here. I'm going to go try to find, I'm just going to do some exploring because I thought we were in the general area. So I went up a block, found nothing that looked like where we needed to be. Another block, come back, and then I'm about to have a full panic attack, but I was like, I can't do that because you were not in a good way. So I was like, here's the good thing about a good travel partner is when you got to hold your shit together, because if you both break down, you're fucked.
You know when to take the lead role if someone else is fucked.
Yeah.
In a certain situation, you gotta remain calm.
You have to remain calm because there is nothing else that you can do, because that's travels.
It's just
so then we see down the street, we see some lights, some car lights coming, going. Lauren's like, oh, it's a taxi, hail him down. So I pop up and I kind of wave, and it is not a taxi. It is a police truck. So I'm trying to, they don't speak any English. I don't speak any Spanish. I'm trying to ask where this hostel is we're looking for. And then Lauren like comes over looking, just mind you, we both looked bedraggled. We're like in super tiny shorts, sweatshirts.
I had
we got
cry face
backpacks
on, I believe.
Yeah, you had some mascara running down your face. So I'm trying to talk to them, and then she just comes over, and Lauren goes, "Can you take us to our hostel, please?" Just like, I'm so don't be sorry.
No, it works out.
So they just let us in the back of their truck, and I'm just like, well, I don't know what else to do. We're gonna get arrested tonight. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but there's no other option. I don't know how the fuck to get where we're going. So I show them the address, which thankfully I'd written down. And then Lauren just like perks right up and first thing she says, she's like, "So where are y'all from?" So then,
Is this before or after they gave us the sad
no, this
stick
is when they
candy?
gave us the sad stick candies. So Lauren asked, "So where are you guys from?" And the guy just one of them reaches behind the seat and pulls out this bag and hands us each like 2 stripy stick candies.
Which I still have. I still have a melted one. It traveled with us everywhere.
We took those suckers with us. So as we're in this truck and they're trying to find this hostel, and then finally one of them pulled out a translator app. So they're asking if we're single. Lauren's like, "Oh yeah, we sure are."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ask if we like beer and dancing. Lauren's like, "Let's go now." And I'm just like, I don't know. Oh no. Oh God. So drive around for probably 10, 15 minutes. Chatting via this app.
But I believe I said, "You guys are the cops, so you can kick down the door for the dance club." Did I say that? Really?
You did. Thank God they did not speak English. Because she's like, "Yeah, you guys are cops. We can go wherever we want." And I was like, "We're not going dancing
Lauren.
with these strangers at 2:30 in the morning in a foreign country. Please God, don't make me." So eventually, we're not finding this hostel, and then they just asked, "Do you want to?" I was like, "Can you just find us a place with a bed?" And then they ask, dos or cuatro? I'm like, oh no. I was like, just for 2. I'm like, they take us to this hostel. Like they say a friend has a hostel. They knock on the door for us. This tiny little old woman in like a house dress comes out and lets us in to like this one room with a bed with a panda quilt on it. And I've never been more happy to faceplant onto a bed. And and then we woke up the next morning. And
that was the most confusing. Listen. All right, do drugs, kids, because I was able to remain consciousness. Maybe I didn't remember most of it, but I did not pass out.
No, because we had been railing cocaine.
We were in
for the past
Montanita
4 or 5 days prior to this trip.
It's like a party town, so yep, we partied up.
Yeah, so I mean, even before we got on the bus,
the story is make sure you do them drugs.
Do the drugs,
and have
kids.
a good friend with you.
And try to not both get drugged at the same time. Only it's fun and funny because we didn't both get drugged.
With an open bottle of anything next to the aisle. Don't sit in the aisle seat.
No aisle seats if possible.
But I remember the next day waking up and just being like, the fuck?
And I
had definitely been drugged. Like, that's when I knew, like, I woke up.
By around noon or 1, which was really impressive to me.
I was just so confused the next day, waking up and then, like, had like flashbacks of, like, the nice lady that was letting us in with her little house dress.
Oh, she was so sweet.
She was so sweet. She, like, opened the door. She was, like, patting in with her house dress, like, showed us the room.
Yeah.
We speak 0 Spanish.
We speak very little Spanish.
Yeah.
We need to get better at that.
Yeah, we definitely have to.
We really do. But yeah, bus drugging on the way to Banos.
Thank you, Kalea, so much.
You're welcome.
That's where we learned silver linings.
Silver linings. We
got stick candies from some cops. Nicest cops ever, apparently.
Also, can we talk about when we saw them again?
Fuck. Okay.
It was magical.
Vladimir.
Oh, no, because Vladimir asked if you would be his girlfriend.
Yeah,
and you said yes.
I said yes.
She was very much into Vladimir.
So next day, Kalea's filling me in on this. I'm like, that's a fucking nightmare. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I was like, we're good, bud. We survived.
You're a fucking queen for being able to like get me through all that shit. Like, oh my God, I can't like wave down some random cops. Like, we're gonna get arrested.
Yeah, I was pretty sure. But then
it was like I told Vladimir that we could be boyfriend and girlfriend apparently. So the joke throughout Banos was Vladimir. Where's Vladimir?
Anytime we saw a truck, we're like, Vladimir.
Last day we're in Banos.
We're sitting at this place called the Honey Cafe.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
We
Go
love
there.
But we're sitting there drinking beer on the sidewalk at a little table, and
Kalea and I are talking. We have this on film. And yeah, a cop car pulls up and they stop. And then I'm looking at him, and the guy driving pulls his sunglasses down. He goes, "Hey." I was like, "Hey, remember me?" Pulls sunglasses down. I was like, "Vladimir?" I
was like, "Oh, it's all happening."
Put his sunglasses up, and then they drove off
away.
in the sunset. Like fucking kings. It was the coolest thing. I was like, oh my fucking God.
I was like, that was all real. It's true.
I was like, all right, it's time for us to go now.
And now it's time to move on to the next place. Vladimir, you're amazing. I don't remember your friend's name, but
kick down a door at any club anytime. Anyway, so
you can kick down a club door anytime for us.
I still have that sad stick candy.
Sad stick candy.
Did you eat yours?
I opened one in the car to try to be polite, and then I realized as I got out of their truck, it was like stuck to my shirt, just like hanging off the side. I'm like, what is happening right now? I don't even know what my name is. Oh my God, I'm so tired, Todd. It's like, I'll just drag my ass in and just rewrap the candy, stick it in my bag.
That being said, Ecuador, nicest people ever. We normally
we weren't. Not only were we not arrested,
they were apparently like the nicest people ever. Like
they were so kind because we looked like a bedraggled just sacks of tragedy.
We have a picture of me like before we get in the bus, and then Kalea has a picture of me just looking like garbage, just like what is going on? I think my pupils were very.
It's a time. I mean, so moral of the story: have a good travel partner, and make sure you guys both don't get drugged at the same time. And now it's time for a fake ad.
Frosted Tips,
Tamagotchi,
Lisa Frank,
Vanilla Ice during his prime,
fucking fanny packs,
LLB pullovers,
stirrup pants.
Remember the uncomplicated times of dial-up internet and blowing on Nintendo 64 cartridges? Pop cereal was king, MTV terrified people with the Black Hole of the Sun music video, and people invested their life savings into Beanie Babies.
Well, guess what, fools? The 90s are cool again, so get ready to skip it back with a totally 90s staple. Denim dump butt pants are back.
Remember when your jeans came equipped with a 12-inch utility zipper and pockets big enough to hold Granny Smith apples and your Dunkaroos?
Stuffing your bits into stretchy low-rise denim is so 2000, and that's only kind of cool right now.
Flatten that ass with high-set pockets that demonstrate that one size really does fit all.
As we're getting back into society and dating times, don't worry about the hassle of unbuttoning and unzipping. With dump butt pants, the extra stretchy waistband allows you to quickly rip them off.
Trying to attract the opposite sex 90s style? No problems. The back pockets are deep enough to hold your copy of The Catch in the Rye, yet shallow enough to easily do a whoopsie drop in front of that potential suitor in the coffee shop. Best make sure that copy is tattered and you did your research with Cliff Notes at Google.
That's right, y'all. The 90s are back, and it's totally radical, and AOL has never been cooler.
Dump butt pants. Hey, y'all. So we wanted to tell you about another really cool podcast we feel like you should listen to. It's called Don't Wreck Yourself, and it's a podcast dedicated to uncovering kernels of truth embedded deep within the internet.
Every Tuesday, Matt and Ryan get to the bottom of spurious, weird, and downright absurd claims and questions.
You can find out why cartoon Garfield novelty phones have been washing ashore in France for 35 years, or why hellmeat inexplicably fell from clear Kentucky skies in 1876.
You can listen to Don't Wreck Yourself wherever you get your podcasts. And now it's time to meet the man,
the myth,
the legend,
Mark Holton.
Best at grilled cheese sandwiches and best at stories.
God bless him. Let's hear the tales.
Let's do it.
Did you hang up on me?
Yeah, because you're on the... Can you hear?
Hello.
Why are you so dark?
We took our lamp out of the shed because it was broken.
Oh, but I can't see you hardly.
Here, let me hold the lamp up.
How about that?
Turn the flashlights on your phone. Now you look like a bad horror movie.
Yep, that's what we're going for.
That's what we were going for sure. Hey, Dad, I have a question.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of wine of Cardui?
Wine of Cardui?
Yeah.
Is that like the cartoon?
No. I was looking up things about Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it was a tincture that Chattanooga, Tennessee was famous for women
having their menses.
And it's called what?
Wine of Cardui.
Cardui.
I don't know how to react to that.
I didn't either. I was looking up like the history of Coca-Cola Classic, and Wine of Cardui came up, and I was like, the fuck is this?
Wow.
It's a whole history.
You need to send me the dossier.
Okay, I will.
Yes, sir.
So I can bone up on it.
Okay, sounds good. So we've been talking to people about their travel stories, and you have some really interesting ones.
I do.
Well, here you got a good one about hitchhiking. Can you tell us about that?
Well, if I can remember it, if I can keep it straight, it was a long, long time ago. And but I'll never forget it. Never, ever forget it. Because to this day, when I think of the situation, I get goose pimples and my ass puckers.
I can't imagine hitchhiking.
You know, it seems foreign now because I don't see people hitchhiking anymore.
Yeah, because it seems terrifying.
Dangerous.
Is that not a thing anymore?
I mean, I think probably in the Pacific Northwest, maybe a little more than other places, but
the Pacific Northwest, that's where all the serial killers were.
Well, yeah.
this was back in the early 70s when when hitchhiking was quite popular. And I would literally go into towns in California where well, in this case, there would be hitchhikers lining the road for miles in both directions.
Holy crow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
How did you get started hitchhiking?
Well, it all started when my parents kicked me out of the house.
Oh, shit.
Why didn't you kick me out of the house?
Why didn't I kick you out of the house? I should have.
Oh. I love you, Dad. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
I should have, but I didn't. I figured it would, I screwed you up pretty bad already. So I thought maybe we would keep the mental anguish to a minimum.
I just have to point something out to Kalea really quick. Do you see that picture right there?
That terrifying one?
Yeah, of the ghost children.
Is that you three?
That's
you showed me that picture. Oh, you all look like little baby ghosts, and it's so great.
Where is it?
Left shoulder.
The creepy one. This is a picture my mother made us.
That's my children of the corn.
Anyways,
well, I'll go ahead.
You got kicked out.
Yeah, I dropped out of college, came home. I had long hair. My parents didn't like it. They gave me an ultimatum that if I didn't cut my hair, I had to leave.
Oh, wow.
So literally one day I came home from work, not having cut my hair, and all my worldly possessions were packed up in boxes and suitcases right in the driveway in front of the garage where I wouldn't miss them.
Clear message.
Wait, what were your possessions? Was there what were...
I mean, my possessions were pretty meager. It was clothing and some camping equipment and a book or two, and yeah, it wasn't a hell of a lot. So it was a small pile of stuff. Anyway, I went to knock on the door and they ignored me. Wouldn't even come out. Back then things were very black and white. And if your parents said cut your hair, you better cut your hair. And I should have just cut my hair. But when you're a teenager, you're just so full of shit you don't even think about it. And so I didn't. I just decided that it was, if my father was going to tell me, it was my way or the highway, I chose the highway.
Did you leave like a note, like a shitty note, like fuck
no,
mom and dad? No.
I knocked on the door. They refused to answer it. So the next time they saw me, they saw me from the window walking down the road away from them. And my parents later admitted that it was really stupid on their part. It was a mistake, but they couldn't believe I left.
Did you have like a bindi? Is that what you call it? Like just like a stick with a
handkerchief and all my stuff in handkerchief?
Bindies?
No, I actually had a backpack. I was pretty well set up by then. I had a backpack and a North Face sleeping bag and canteens. And so anyway, I was on the road and I decided I was going to go see my brother Paul, who was in the Navy, stationed in the Bay Area in California at there's a naval base on Treasure Island in north of San Francisco.
How much money did you have when you were leaving?
I think I had about $30.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
That was it. But you didn't worry about the stuff like that then. I was too stupid to worry about it. And most of the people on the road had no money. They just went out and did it. And there are people along the way gave you stuff to eat, water to drink, and all the insults you can handle. And but anyway, I had a very lonely beginning because I walked out to the expressway going south and stood on the on-ramp probably for 6 or 7 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Before anybody stopped to pick me up. And I was harassed by the police for the first time, but that was pretty common. I was going to hitchhike to San Francisco, but I was going to stop along the way to visit my friend Dale Ostro in Phoenix. But that probably I'll bet you that took me 4 days to make that trip, maybe more. It was a long trip. And I stayed in Phoenix for several days to lick my wounds and and get some sleep and get ready to make the next leg of the trip.
Who picked you up on the way there? Were they like truckers or were they?
It was a weird amalgamation of people. There were a lot of young people that picked you up. Rarely a real adult would stop. Most of the time out of curiosity or because they were decided they were going to save my soul. I had a lot of those. a lot of crazy Christian types.
Would you just roll with it and act like you got saved, or would you just sort of listen and let them talk? Or
most of the time, I was so tired, I just went to sleep.
That sounds like the safest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they would get out the Bible. They would slap it on my knees. They would, they would want me to pray with them, and
oh God.
So most of the time they meant no harm. Yeah, you went along with it if you had to. You fell asleep if you could. Yeah, and every now and then somebody would pick you up that was really, really strange, and that was the gist of this story.
Go on.
Go on.
Well, of course, this was my first hitchhike experience out on the road. I was 19 years old, fresh out of a year of college, and pretty naive. My friend Dale, after a few days, I decided it was time to hit the road again. We hopped on his Honda and he motored me out to an exit outside of Phoenix on the I-10, which goes straight into Los Angeles. And he dropped me off. And as he pulled away, I just thought, I'm really stupid. What in the hell am I doing here? And I sat there for a while trying to get a grip. And all of a sudden, the car pulls up. Some guy gets out and walks over to me. He's a pretty grisly, I don't know, gnarly looking older guy. I was 19. He was probably in his early 30s. Tattooed. And remember, tattoos back then were not a thing. If you had tattoos, you were in the circus or you were in prison or something like that. So, I thought, oh God,
yep.
What am I going to do now? Anyway, turns out the guy was a really great guy. And for the purpose of our conversation, we'll call this guy Bob. I can't remember his name anymore. Mind you, this was well over 50 years ago.
Holy crow.
Well, let's call him Bobert.
Bobert. All right, Bobert.
That's adorable.
Well, I was really concerned, and then Bobert started talking, and I could tell pretty quickly he meant me no harm, and he was funny, fearless, and very talkative. And when you're sitting out in the middle of nowhere, having somebody to talk to is pretty great.
Yeah,
could see.
And when you're all by yourself, having somebody else there by your side is also really great. Because it means you're not alone and totally exposed to the world. Well, it turns out that Bobert used to be in the Hells Angels.
Whoa.
And he had several chapter tattoos on his arms and stuff, along with all the scars and everything else that went along with it. Yeah, so I didn't know whether I was safe or in danger, but it was, it seemed like he was a good guy.
Good vibes.
Well, we were in that on-ramp for probably 10 hours, so we got a pretty good chance to get to know one another. And
so he was hitchhiking too?
He was going back to California to go to court to get his driver's license reinstated.
Okay.
Anyway, he was headed to LA to get his driver's license back, as far as San Bernardino, and then we would split off. I would go north to San Francisco, and he would go west to LA. And that's the way we went. And that trip probably took 4 or 5 days.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It takes longer than I would have thought.
Yeah, back then, people weren't certain about hitchhikers.
Yeah.
And you need to be prepared to be stuck in places for a very long time. Well, we had several rides and then ended up in this, I don't even know what town it was in Western California, and ended up being there for probably 12 hours or more overnight. And finally got up that morning, and not long after we woke up, this ratty white Chevy, the kind with rust hanging off of it and Rust-Oleum all over it. And,
some duct tape holding on a fender.
Yeah. Anyway, we didn't care. It was a car. He was pulling over. Bobert ran over to check on it, and he waved me over. He got in the back seat, and I got in the front. And we rolled down the windows and sighed a big sigh of relief. We were moving again, and it was hot, so the air felt good. And we thought everything was fine, but that only lasted for a few minutes when we realized that the guy that picked us up was very, very drunk.
No.
And he was wandering all over the road, off of the road, into oncoming traffic. And not just that, but he seemed to be having psychotic episodes. He was just,
oh my God.
He was talking to people who weren't there and threatening us. And
was this Hunter S. Thompson?
It was like Hunter S. Thompson if he had just gotten out of prison.
Whoa.
I mean, this guy, I thought Bobert was gnarly. This guy was super gnarly. He looked very dangerous. Anyway, I didn't know what to do. I was just a 19-year-old kid who didn't know anything. And so I asked him if he was okay, just to try and wake him up, and that set him off. That moment on, he looked at me like he wanted to kill me.
Oh my God.
And he started ranting and raving, and I thought I was done for. And that's when Bobert stepped in and saved the day.
Good old Bobert. Bobert to the rescue.
I was wetting myself, but Bobert was just as cool and calm as a cucumber. And he started talking to the guy and asking him where he was from and where he was headed and blah, blah, blah. Got him all calmed down. Got him concentrating on the road a little bit, lied and told him that the guy better be careful because he just saw a cop behind a billboard.
Oh, clever.
A few miles back.
Bobert knows what's up.
Bobert was pulling it out, man. He was.
Thank God.
Again, I was paralyzed with fear. All I could think of is how my face was going to look after I went through the windshield. Finally, Bobert kept talking to the guy, and he calmed down, and then, just out of the blue, convinced the guy to let him drive.
Oh my God, wow.
He said, man, you look really tired, and you look like you need a nap. You want to you let me drive and so you can get some sleep? The next thing we know, the guy's pulling over and letting Bobert drive. And so I thought, I was thanking Jesus.
The nightmare is over.
The nightmare's over. We're going to be okay now. Well, Bobert drives, and this guy gets into the back seat right behind me. And everything's going good for about 10 minutes. He's real quiet. And all of a sudden, he starts talking again.
Uh-oh.
And he starts talking, and pretty soon he's yelling and screaming and waving his arms around. And I mean, it was to the point where I didn't want my back turned to him, so I sat sideways against the door so I could keep my left eye on him and my right eye on the road.
I thought maybe you were canoodling with Bobert. That's what I would do.
Well, I would have been in Bobert's lap if I felt like it would have helped me. I just wanted to keep my eye on this other guy because I just had no idea what he was capable of. Well, sure enough, I kept checking on him, and he's waving his arms around and yelling and talking. And next thing I know, I see little glints of light in his hand. And when I look around, he has a revolver in his hand.
Oh my God. Are you sure this wasn't Hunter S. Thompson?
I'm not talking about any revolver. It was a 357 Magnum, a dirty, hairy gun.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And he kept pointing it at me and talking about how he could blow a man's head off and blah, blah, blah. And I knew enough about guns to know what it was. But when I looked straight at it, when he had it pointed at me, I could see the little copper heads of the bullets in the cylinders.
Oh my God.
So I knew it was fully loaded.
Oh my God.
Fuck, Dad.
Now I'm really pissing my pants. Well, Bob looked over. Bob didn't know what was going on in the back seat, but he looked over to me. He could see my eyes widen and my face go white. And so he looked up in the rearview mirror, saw the guy had the gun waving around. He started talking again. When the guy started talking about blowing their heads off, he said something to the effect of, oh man, you don't want to do that because brains are really hard to clean up on glass.
Oh my God.
And besides, you're parole officer. I'm speaking from experience by saying parole officers don't like that kind of stuff. And he just kept jabbering and talking, and somehow, this went on for me, it felt like hours, but it was probably 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
30 minutes of some guy flashing a fully loaded 357 Magnum around behind my head. And finally, Bobert talked the guy into giving him the gun.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bobert got away with words.
I love Bobert.
Bobert was fucking amazing.
Bobert's like a saint. We need a Saint candle for Bobert.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, he got the gun. He immediately opened the cylinders, dropped out all the bullets, asked me to put the gun in the glove box. And within 10 minutes, the guy was passed out in the back seat. We had the gun. Bullets were out of it. And he looked at me and laughed. I was surprised I didn't load my diapers. But he just, he'd been through it a few times and he knew how to handle it, and he knew I didn't. So he was my big brother on that trip.
I know, it's such a sweet tale.
Yeah.
But see, that's what happens when you were hitchhiking. People became your best friend in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
Because you were sharing those kinds of experiences on the road, and you bonded over them. And then it was over and you never saw the guys again. But anyway, his final brilliant move, once we got into San Bernardino, was to park the car on the side of the road. Mind you, we came into San Bernardino and both sides of the road were lined with hitchhikers. Must have been, I'm just guessing, 2,000 kids out there.
Shit.
Hitchhiking.
Different times.
Fuck.
Cops were harassing everybody.
All the long hairs.
Well, it was a nuisance. Can you imagine 2,000 people and everybody's tired. It's in the middle of the night. They're sleeping on the lawns. They're harassing people for food and spare change. So
they're just trying to get to San Francisco, right?
Who knows where they were going. They were coming and going. But anyway, there was a huge police presence there. So Bobert pulled over, parked the car right next to a no parking sign. The guy was still passed out. So we very quietly got out of the car, closed the door, and left him, a guy on parole, drunk on his ass, in a car with a handgun in the glove box. And Bobert put the bullets into the ashtray. And we walked probably a good half a mile down the road just to put some distance. But we were pretty certain that Bobert ended up in jail on that night.
Not Bobert, the other guy.
The other guy.
So what happened to Bobert and you?
Well, I don't know how appropriate this is considering the mores of today, but back then when we were on the side of the road, just every kind of person known to man was out there preying on the people on the sides of the road. There were a lot of gay men cruising around for sex. And We were desperate to get out of town. We thought we would be there forever with all those people. So car pulls up, Bobert runs over, talks to the guy. He gets in the car. We wave goodbye. My heart sunk to my stomach.
Oh.
And they drive away. About 20 minutes later, same car pulls out, door opens. Bobert gets out, runs over to me. And I said, what's going on? He said, these guys are gay and they'd take me where I wanted to go, but I had to blow them. And they wanted to blow me. And I would have, but they wouldn't, but I didn't want to do it for free.
Yes, Bobert.
and my price was too high. So they're asking if I might be interested.
Of you?
Me.
Oh, God.
I politely declined. They drove off again. And we ended up standing on that corner for 12 or 14 hours. But eventually Bobert got a ride and I got a ride. And that was the end of our relationship.
Oh, I feel
But to this day, if he were still alive and I could find him, I would go and kiss that man on the mouth.
Oh, this is such a beautiful. I feel like you need like a story called Me and Bobert.
Me and Bobert.
Yeah. What a lovely road moment.
Actually, I would make kind of an interesting story, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Well,
Mark Holton, you need to write that.
You got a birth of books you got to write.
You got a lot.
No.
I don't think you would have liked it if I went hitchhiking.
No, I would not have liked it because I know. Everybody thinks hitchhiking is, that's so cool and so romantic. No, it isn't.
I never thought that.
It's lonely. It's dirty and lonely, and you're sitting around for endless hours doing absolutely nothing. You're in the rain. You're in the snow. You're in the hot weather.
That's all of my nightmares.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's a really, really cheap way to get somewhere.
No hitchhiking for me. I only hitchhiked once, and that was when I went with, remember my ex when we went hiking in the Appalachian Trail?
Oh, yeah.
We hitchhiked once because I had a meltdown, and it was with a very religious person, and it was terrifying.
A religious person?
Yeah.
Yep. Some things never change.
Apparently, some things pass through generations.
I don't know what it is about those Christians. They just want to save everybody's soul.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you roll with it, they tend to be real friendly. Just like accept Jesus heart real quick.
Right.
And they're like, I got another one. Score one for Jesus. I'll take you wherever you want.
You can't get out of this car until you kill me.
You better be accepted your Lord Jesus Christ.
They're usually that way, but every now and then you get a Charles Manson.
Yeah, that's a downer.
Well, he was short. You could have
ruins everything.
He was a short little
ruins
man.
it for everybody.
Itty bitty.
Damn it, Charles Manson.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You just ruined the whole bit.
You ruined it. You ruined it, dude.
We were having such a nice time.
Yeah. You had to go and kill those nice people.
You had to make people kill the nice people.
Why would you do that? That's unfortunate.
This episode is brought to you by Wine of Cardui.
Wine of Cardui from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Having your menses feel a little dark at that time of the month? Have some Wine of Cardui. It'll do you right, keep you proper, and make sure that husband of yours stays with you.
That's right.
Wine of Cardui.
Wine of Cardui. Turns out it was just alcohol.
Around 17%, evidently.
Wine of Cardui, was that what a woman took to keep her from going insane?
So there were two things. It was the Chattanooga Medical Company. They were famous for Wine of Cardui and also a laxative, which had another hilarious name.
Oh, jeez, I'm dying to hear that one.
So type in Wine of Cardui. This is fascinating.
Wine, how do you spell Cardui?
Cardui.
Wine of Cardui.
Wine of Cardui.
Wine of Cardui, there it is. National Museum of American
Gynecological nonsense.
American History.
Or that. Wine
for menstrual disturbances of women, such as irregularity, exaggeration, suppression, irregular, painful, or delayed menstruation.
Oh, they get better.
Oh. Profuse or too frequent flow. Whites. What are whites?
Whites?
Falling of the womb.
Yeah,
Oh,
falling
dear.
in the womb. I forgot about that one.
I hate that.
We got fallen limbs.
Oh, as a general restorative for delicate women.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I want me some of that. I'm pretty delicate.
Baptist preachers and shit were like taking a little nip from their wives' wine of Cardui.
Wine of Cardui.
Oh yeah, ethyl alcohol, 20%.
You gotta keep them wombs in place. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. If they get a little out of control, you just hit them over the head with your wine of Cardui.
Yes, sir. Please and thank you.
Let's bring it back, Dad. That's a $1 million idea.
I'll tell you what, honey. I think you got a business opportunity right there.
Wine times for the menstruating ladies.
Apparently, it was only made for 2 years,
Really? That's too bad.
1906 to 1908. So
Well, it's very vintage then.
apparently, it wasn't a big seller.
You know, but everything goes in cycles. So time to bring it back, I feel.
It's time to bring it back.
You know what?
Wine of Cardui.
Time for wine of Carduis.
Resurrected.
You can sell it with a free order of gummers.
That's perfect. That's a perfect combination.
It's a perfect combination.
Absolutely. Wine of Cardui and your set of gummers give them the perfect
Cardui
Alley
and
cheese
gummers.
that we've always dreamed of.
Cardui and gummers.
Gummers and Cardui.
It's everything your
Cardui and
husband
gummers.
always wanted.
That's
Give him
right.
the dreams of his dreams.
Well, darling girls, I'm a tired old man.
Well, thank you, Dad.
Are we done?
We're
Wait.
done.
Mark
Wait,
Holton.
wait.
Mark Holton, can I ask you one last question?
Sure.
It's a personal one. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
All right.
But so I've heard that you were and have seen picture proof that you were a handsome, very attractive young ranch hand in your youth.
Mhm.
And
That's true.
charming and delightful. So I have to ask you, what is your number of people that you have had intimate moments with, if you're willing to share with the class?
You
Ooh,
mean?
before Kathy Holton. Wait,
Oh,
wait a minute.
you mean?
What do you
You mean how many women did
Yes.
I have sexual relations with?
yeah, broads.
Yes, sir, that is what I am asking in a delicate way.
I think that's too far away and to remember clearly.
So if
You were like the
I-
babe on the dude ranch, though.
I remember being quite successful as a young man. Let me put it that way.
So okay, last question, then I'll leave it alone. Would you say 25 approximately? Would you say under 50, under 100, under 75? Just
Wow.
throw a number at the wall like spaghetti if you're hoping it's done.
I would say less than 100 and more than 5.
Touche, Mark Holton.
That is the best answer.
Fucking touche.
Right, it's right around in there. Right in
I know
there
you're
somewhere.
you were like the hot dude on the dude ranch, though, and then mom showed up. Everyone's like, yeah.
Oh, and get this, Lauren.
Yes.
All the other girls were from Louisiana.
Really?
They were all coming. That was their summer job from. They went to school at Louisiana
LSU?
LSU.
Did you bang all of the Louisiana chicks?
Well,
Answer given.
That doesn't matter. Yeah, you did. You did.
I don't think it got to banging stage before your mother got off the train and blew them all away.
Romantic.
I mean, it was,
So really, when you saw mom get off the train, you're like, fuck everybody else?
you know, when I saw her get off, I thought, damn. But you know, I mean, she didn't have a halo around her or anything.
Well.
But it didn't take more than a few days for that to happen. I mean, it was like, you ever see that scene where when one woman walks in, the guy puts his hand in the face of his current girlfriend,
Face palms are away.
pushes her away. Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Oh,
That's the most romantic thing I ever heard.
that's beautiful.
I want
Needless to
someone to
say,
face palm their girlfriend away from
your mom wasn't the most popular girl at the debutante ball at Wilderness Guest Ranch.
Oh, get out of town. I don't believe that 1 second.
Yeah,
That was sarcasm.
they were angry at her for stealing her man away.
My God, get that girl right
Mark
out of here.
Holton, the king of the
Snack of the castle.
snack of the castle.
Yeah, I mean, ain't too many men that can milk a cow.
You know what? You are dead ass right, Mark Holton. And I tell you what,
I could milk a cow. I can peel lumber, peel trees,
yeah,
knock them down, peel them, and make a fence.
Jesus, take the wheel.
And then
Yeah.
take her on a date on a horse. Oh, he cut a horse off a train track.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a different story.
I know. We'll save that for another time.
That's an entirely new episode.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll revisit.
We will revisit. All right, Daddy, I love you so much.
I love you both.
Love
and
you.
I want to hear more stories.
We'll hit you up.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later.
Kalea, thank you again so much for being my queen and helping me through the bus, Druggin. Because
I'm just here to save your life. You know, I do what I can.
I mean, silver linings. I appreciate it so much. Which this brings us to our next episode. We're interviewing a friend of mine who had
Mary Pat.
Mary Pat. She had some interesting experiences traveling around as a woman. One of which I believe she kissed or made out with a 90-year-old flamenco dancer.
No, it was a 90-year-old flamenco guitar player in Madrid.
Player. Even better.
Yeah, so we got some crazy stuff from her. We're also going to be talking to her mom.
Her mom is hilarious.
I'm so excited,
She is
dude.
a sassy Chilean woman who is fucking badass, so I'm super excited.
So tune in next week for fascinating interviews
It's going to be
with
great.
the whores.
The Whores on Room 6.
Whores in Room 6. Yoo-hoo.